Today we're here at the Royal Air Force Museum in Cosford, just outside Wolverhampton. I'm going to take a good look around the museum. Now, as you all know, I love anything to do with history, engineering, that kind of thing. And I think you're going to enjoy this one. To the first building, you'll see the sign that's behind me, and this is typical of the information throughout the building. So plenty to read and plenty of information to absorb. Full of exhibits, and most of them fascinating. But we'll walk through and we'll turn right and go and have a look. First of all, I think at the Messerschmitt. Okay. Now, one of the first things you'll see when you walk in is this Rolls-Royce V12 engine, which looks to be in absolute pristine condition. You'll come across this biplane, which is a Gloucester Gladiator, for those of you that are interested in biplanes. And then to the right of the Gloucester Gladiator, you'll see the Messerschmitt. Behind me is a Messerschmitt 109, which you're probably familiar with. Now, the Messerschmitt 109 was powered by this Daimler aero engine, which, if you look down, you'll see that it's common rail fuel injection system, which we tend to think of as being modern, but in actual fact was around during the Second World War, and powered the Messerschmitts. Behind me is a plane that we all know and we all love. It's a Supermarine Mark 1 Spitfire. And Mark's going to have a walk around now and just look at it in a bit better detail. Behind me is the Orca Hurricane Mark II, probably the most famous plane after the Spitfire for winning the Battle of Britain. Now, this particular version has metal covered wings. The early versions were all canvas, with canvas wings, and they actually shot down more German planes than the Spitfires. About 2/3 of all the planes shot down in the Battle of Britain were shot down by Hurricanes, where only about 1/3 were shot down by Spitfires. Okay, this particular specimen is a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, which I presume is what actually powered the Defiant as it stood next to it. This one's showing a bit more of the actual construction of the engine. Very interesting. When we came in, I actually told you the Rolls-Royce engine there was a V12, which it is, but I failed to explain that it was the Kestrel engine and not the Merlin engine, which just move because I wouldn't watch it. So, could you just confirm that it is a?
That one's Kestrel, yeah.
That's definitely Kestrel. Now that particular engine is it's a lot smaller.
Yes, yeah. I don't know much about the engines, to be honest with you. I'm not very good with the engines, but I know that was Kestrel, slightly smaller.
Yeah.
Has got the same smaller sort of supercharger or barely existence one.
Yeah.
What I know of anyway. So.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing I noticed when I came in, the Hurricane. I was talking about the Hurricane when we came in, and the Hurricane is actually, I noticed that the wings were metal covered, and the earlier ones, I believe, were all canvas
yeah, Mark 1s were canvas. Then I don't know when they changed to metal stress skin, but by the Mark 2 they were full
Right.
metal skin.
Right. And the mats, was that so they could carry more weapons, basically, make the wings stronger, so that they could maybe carry, you know, the machine guns and stuff like that, maybe extra fuel, just make it a bit stronger.
Honest answer, I don't know what they changed for from it. But the reason being was obviously most airframes going to more metal.
Mm.
It was easy for them to continuously dope up fabric all the while. That might have been the main drive behind it.
Right.
Not 100% sure.
Okay. Anyway, thank you for,
Right.
for the
No,
information
right.
about the engine. It was really good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Behind me, we have the Sopwith Pup, which is a small biplane, as you can see. Sopwith is a company who did the Camel, by the way, the Sopwith Camel. I'm not sure whether there's a Sopwith Camel here in the museum, but if there is, we'll probably come to it later. Biplanes were pretty much on the way out by the end of the war, by the end of the First World War and the beginning of the Second World War, basically because the extra drag that the second wing caused made them too slow to be decent fighter planes, and so that top wing was removed, and the biplane was, the monoplane was born, um, which is basically what the Spitfire and the Hurricane are, etc. Any plane that just has two wings is a monoplane. Any plane that has a set of wings on the bottom and a set of wings on the top is a biplane. Just for those who don't know. Okay. Got AP, which in fact stands for Experimental Advanced Prototype. And this prototype plane was built and used for about 5 years in order to develop all the electronics and advanced weaponry used in the Typhoon. There's a wing section from Adornia. Looks in a pretty sorry state. There is a Fairey research jet, basically used to research supersonic flight. This impressive piece behind me is the BOC combat prototype, and quite a spectacular looking aircraft it is too. Oh, it's not, we've got to do the area. So behind me is the Aria Kestrel, which a lot of people are familiar with. Everybody's familiar with the Aria jump jet, similar kind of design. And Matt's just going to have a walk down and show it you full. And of course, these are the famous nozzles that allow the Kestrel and the Aria to take off vertically from anywhere and fly away. Also to land anywhere, which is a fantastic British invention. So now we're in the second of the buildings, and this particular building is mainly to do with the Cold War, and I believe that all the V bombers are actually in this building, and we're going to be taking a look at them shortly. There's also one or two tanks, etc., which, despite being in the aircraft museum, don't actually fly. Anyways, let's take a look. Now behind me is a battle tank, as you can see, and it's a Centurion battle tank, which was the first British battle tank to have a floating turret, which the gun stayed stationary as the tank went across rugged landscape, and very highly technical at the time. Now behind me is a plane again. A lot of you will recognise. It's a Meteor, and quite a big plane. Now this particular one has a circular cutout in the side of the plane, and we're going to go onto the viewing platform and take a look inside. May is a cutaway version of a Sapphire engine, which is a jet engine, and it's showing all the parts and how the engine actually works. So fairly simple. Sucks air in at one end, heats it up, it gets blasted out the other end. As it's blasted out, it turns blades, which are connected by a shaft to turn the blades at the front, which are the compressor blades that sucks more air in, and you end up with a thrust. Very, very simple. Only one moving part, and so very reliable. Now behind me is one of the three nuclear deterrent bombers that we produced during the Cold War. This one is the Victor, and you can see it's a fairly substantial size aircraft. Behind me is the Vulcan bomber, which everybody knows, everybody's familiar with, everybody's seen on James Bond being landed on the sea and having the nuclear weapons removed from it in, I think it was Thunderbolt. An absolutely fantastic aircraft. Another one of our nuclear deterrent bombers, and quite an aircraft. Well, we've taken a look around about half of the museum, and we're already vastly over time. We're going to go down onto the lower floor now and take a look at that. But we're going to have to speed up from now on, otherwise this particular video is going to take well over an hour. We haven't covered everything that's at the museum for obvious reasons, time mainly. But there's lots and lots of things to do in the museum, half of which we've not covered. So please don't think that this is all there is to it. Far from correct. Behind me, the Seahawk and the Seawolf ground-to-air missiles. Behind me, typical troop carrier, a Scorpion. To my right, a Salamander. Okay, behind me, a Bedford General Purpose Tender. To tell you what this is. Now this particular plane, this Lincoln, it looks a bit like a Lancaster. In fact, it looks very similar to a Lancaster, but it's not, it's a Lincoln. And this particular plane is purported to be haunted. Now the national press did a piece on it, and also the BBC. There was a team from some university or other that came in with cameras and sound equipment, etc. And they researched it, picked up all kinds of noises and clicks and bangs. However, when those noises were analysed, it turned out that those were the very same clicks and bangs and noises that the crew would have made when they were starting up the engines. The start-up procedure for this particular aircraft, it was confirmed that those clicks and noises were made by those, and it was unique as a fingerprint. Now there is also a very eerie feeling around the plane. You'll feel it yourself if you come here. I can certainly feel it. A plane this big, side of a house, I'm sure that shrapnel and bullets and things have gone through this very thin fuselage and hit people in the past while it was in service. The spirits of anybody who died in this particular plane are said to inhabit the fuselage. If you come to Cosford, and I hope you do, then please come and have a look around this incredible plane and see if you too can feel the atmosphere coming off this particular plane. Many of you, I would think, would be sensitive enough to feel a sensation of something very eerie. Well, I'm afraid our time has come to an end here at Roy's Rambles. We've had a good look around the museum, but unfortunately, we just don't have the time. You could spend a full day here if you wanted to see everything. We've seen about a third of the actual museum and exhibits. Please come along and take a look for yourself. Most enjoyable. Naturally, we had coffee over here, which was very good. Car parking, £7 to park your car. However, entrance free. Doesn't cost anything to come in. So I'll just say goodbye now from Roy's Rambles.